Success is a curious thing, isn't it? It doesn't just happen. It's not something you chase. It's something you attract by the person you become. And becoming that person, that's a daily effort, my friends. It's about doing the small things every single day that add up to a life of excellence. Now, here's the key. Improvement is not automatic. If you don't set a plan, life has a way of pulling you off course. So today, I want to share with you 10 things, 10 areas that you must improve every day. Get ready, because small disciplines lead to big results over time. Number 1, your thinking. Everything starts in the mind. If you want to change your life, you've got to start by changing your thinking. Now, why is that? Because your thoughts shape your attitude, your actions, and ultimately your results. It's been said, as a man thinketh, so is he. And my friends, that's as true today as it was thousands of years ago. Your mind is the control tower of your life. So if you don't learn to guard it, to shape it, to feed it with the right ideas, you'll find yourself drifting and not in the direction you want to go. Think of it this way. Your mind is like a garden. If you plant weeds, you'll get weeds. But if you plant flowers, you'll get flowers. The garden doesn't care what you plant. It simply gives you back what you put in. The same is true with your thinking. Your mind will return to you whatever seeds you plant. Positive or negative, productive or destructive. That's why the first discipline of daily improvement must be to work on your thinking. Step 1, protect your mind. One of the most important things you can do is protect your mind. Every day you're bombarded with messages. On TV, on social media, and conversations. And here's the thing. Not all of it is good for you. Some of it is toxic. Some of it plants seeds of doubt, fear, and negativity. So you've got to be vigilant. You've got to stand guard at the door of your mind. Imagine this. If someone came into your house and dumped garbage on your living room floor, you'd be outraged, wouldn't you? You'd say, hey, what do you think you're doing? Get that out of here. Yet, how often do we allow garbage into our minds without a second thought? We listen to negative news, engage in gossip, or surround ourselves with people who bring us down. My friends, that's like letting someone dump garbage in your mental living room. Don't let it happen. Stand guard. Be selective about what you allow into your mind. Step 2, feed your mind. Now, protecting your mind is only half the equation. The other half is feeding it with the right ideas. And here's a key point. What you feed your mind determines what you think about, and what you think about determines how you act. That's why you've got to be intentional about the input. I often tell people start a library. Now, why do I say that? Because books are a treasure chest of ideas. They're like a mental feast. When you read, you're filling your mind with knowledge, perspective, and inspiration. But don't stop at books. Listen to audio programs, attend seminars, surround yourself with people who challenge you to think bigger. Every day, ask yourself, what am I feeding my mind today? Am I consuming something that will help me grow, or am I just wasting time? Step 3, change your thinking habits. Changing your thinking is not a one-time event. It's a habit. And like any habit, it takes time and effort to develop. Start by paying attention to your self-talk. What are you saying to yourself throughout the day? Are you building yourself up, or are you tearing yourself down? Let me give you an example. Imagine you make a mistake. Do you say, I'm so stupid? I can't believe I did that. Or do you say, that's a lesson? I'll do better next time. The way you talk to yourself matters. It shapes your confidence, your motivation, and your ability to take on challenges. And here's another habit. Practice gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most powerful ways to shift your thinking. When you focus on what you're thankful for, it's hard to stay negative. So every day, take a few minutes to reflect on what you're grateful for. Write it down. Speak it out loud. Make it a part of your daily routine. Step 4, think big. If you're going to work on your thinking, you might as well think big. Small thinking leads to small results. Big thinking opens up a world of possibilities. So let me ask you, what's your vision for your life? What do you see when you look ahead 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? Here's the key. Don't limit yourself. Don't let fear or doubt or past failures hold you back. Dream big. Set goals that stretch you, that challenge you, that inspire you. And then take those big dreams and break them down into manageable steps. Because while big thinking sets the vision, it's the daily disciplines that bring it to life. Step 5, surround yourself with the right people. The people you spend time with have a huge impact on your thinking. If you're around people who are negative, who complain, who make excuses, that will rub off on you. But if you're around people who are positive, who challenge you, who encourage you to grow, that will rub off on you too. Jim Rohn used to say, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So take a look at your associations. Who are you spending time with? Are they lifting you up or pulling you down? If you want to change your thinking, you might need to change your associations. Step 6. Take action on your thoughts. Finally, remember this: thinking alone is not enough. You've got to take action. You can have the best ideas in the world, but if you don't act on them, they're worthless. So, when you get an idea, when you feel inspired, act. Don't wait. Don't let the law of diminishing intent take over. Let me leave you with this thought. Your thinking shapes your life, so guard it, feed it, develop it. Because if you work on your thinking every day, the results will amaze you. Success starts in the mind. And when you get your thinking right, everything else begins to fall into place. Number 2, your health. Let's talk about your health, my friends. Now, you've heard me say it before, the body is the only place you've got to live. And it's true. No matter how much money you make, no matter how many goals you achieve, if your health is failing, everything else fades into the background. So the question is, are you taking care of it? Are you treating your body like the remarkable gift that it is? Here's the truth. Good health doesn't happen by chance, it happens by choice. And the choices you make every day, no matter how small, add up over time. So let's talk about the disciplines, the daily habits that will keep you feeling strong, energized, and ready to take on life's challenges. Step 1. The power of nutrition. First, let's talk about what you put into your body. Now, I'm not a nutritionist, but let me tell you this. Your body is like a high-performance vehicle, and what you put in the tank matters. If you fuel it with junk, too much sugar, too much processed food, it's like pouring mud into the gas tank. You can't expect it to run well. So here's what you do. Start simple. Add more fruits, more vegetables, more whole foods to your diet. Drink more water. Cut back on the things you know aren't good for you. You don't have to overhaul your entire diet overnight. Just start making better choices, one meal at a time. And here's another thought. Learn about nutrition. Pick up a book, watch a documentary. Educate yourself. Because once you understand how food affects your energy, your mood, and your long-term health, you'll be motivated to make better decisions. Remember, knowledge fuels discipline. Step 2. The importance of exercise. Now let's move on to exercise. My friends, the human body was made to move. Yet, how many of us spend hours sitting? At a desk, in the car, on the couch? It's no wonder so many people feel tired, stiff, and out of shape. Here's the key. You don't have to become a marathon runner or a bodybuilder. You just need to move. Take a walk around the block. Stretch in the morning. Do a few push-ups. Find an activity you enjoy. Dancing, hiking, swimming. And make it a part of your routine. And here's a tip. Schedule it. Put it on your calendar, just like you would a meeting or an appointment. Because if you don't make time for exercise, life has a way of crowding it out. And let me tell you, the benefits are worth it. Exercise doesn't just strengthen your body. It clears your mind, boosts your mood, and gives you the energy to tackle your goals. Step 3. The role of rest. Let's not forget about rest. Rest is just as important as nutrition and exercise, yet so many people overlook it. They burn the candle at both ends thinking they can outwork exhaustion. But let me tell you, lack of rest catches up with you. Now, rest isn't just about sleep, although good sleep is essential. It's also about taking time to recharge. It's about stepping away from the busyness of life to reflect, relax, and rejuvenate. So, here's the discipline. Get enough sleep each night. Create a bedtime routine. And during the day, take breaks. Go for a walk. Breathe. Give your mind and body the time they need to recover. Step 4. Pay attention to your energy levels. Have you ever noticed how some days you feel unstoppable, while other days it's a struggle just to get out of bed? That's your energy, and it's a reflection of your health. So here's a tip. Pay attention to your energy levels. Notice how different foods, activities, and habits affect you. Do you feel sluggish after a heavy meal? Do you feel energized after a morning workout? Use that information to make better choices. Because the more energy you have, the more you can accomplish, and the more you can enjoy life. Step 5. Avoid the pitfalls. Now let's talk about what to avoid, because good health isn't just about what you do. It's also about what you don't do. Here are a few common pitfalls. Overeating. Even healthy food can be harmful if you eat too much of it. Learn to listen to your body and eat until you're satisfied, not stuffed. Sedentary lifestyle. Make it a rule to move every day. Don't let long hours of sitting become your norm. Stress. Stress is a silent killer. Find healthy ways to manage it. Whether it's through exercise, meditation, or spending time with loved ones. Bad habits. Smoking, excessive drinking, and other harmful habits take a toll on your health. If you've got a habit you know you need to change, start today. Seek help if you need it. You're worth it. Step 6. Invest in preventative care. Here's another idea. Don't wait until you're sick to think about your health. Be proactive. Get regular checkups. Listen to your body. If something doesn't feel right, don't ignore it. And remember, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Taking care of your health isn't just about living longer. It's about living better. It's about having the energy, strength, and vitality to enjoy life to the fullest. Step 7. Make health a daily priority. Finally, make health a daily priority. Every day ask yourself, what can I do today to take care of my body? Maybe it's drinking an extra glass of water. Maybe it's taking a 10-minute walk. Maybe it's skipping dessert. Whatever it is, do something. Because small, consistent actions lead to big results over time. And here's the good news. As you build healthier habits, they become easier. What starts as a discipline turns into a lifestyle. And that lifestyle? It's the foundation of a life well lived. So my friends, let me ask you, what's one thing you can do today to improve your health? Just one thing, because remember, success starts with the body. Take care of it, and it will take care of you. Your health is your foundation. Build it strong, and you'll be amazed at what you can achieve. Number 3, your words. Words, my friends, words have power, tremendous power. The words you speak every day, whether to yourself or to others, are shaping your life. They can build people up, or they can tear them down. They can inspire hope, or they can spread doubt. And here's the truth. Your words don't just affect the people around you. They affect you. Now, why is this so important? Because your words are a reflection of your thoughts, and your thoughts shape your reality. What you say reinforces what you believe, and what you believe determines what you do. So, if you want to improve your life, you've got to start by improving your words. Let's start with a simple idea. Choose your words wisely. Have you ever heard someone say, "I can't do it," or "I'll never succeed," or "This is just the way I am"? Those aren't just words, they're chains. Chains that keep people stuck in the same place day after day, year after year. But what if, instead of saying, "I can't," you said, "I'll try"? What if, instead of saying, "I'll never," you said, "I'm working on it"? What if you replace "This is just the way I am" with "I'm growing every day"? That simple shift in language can change everything. Because when you change your words, you change your mindset. And when you change your mindset, you change your life. Now, let me tell you a story. I remember meeting a man who said to me, "Jim, I'll never be successful. It's just not in the cards for me." And I said, "Who told you that?" He paused for a moment and said, "Well, I guess I did." My friends, if you're the one telling yourself that you can't, it's time to stop. Replace those words with something better, something that moves you forward instead of holding you back. Next, speak with intention. Don't just talk to fill the silence. Talk with purpose. When you're having a conversation, ask yourself, what am I trying to accomplish here? Am I adding value? Am I lifting someone up? Too often we fall into the habit of idle chatter, gossip, complaints, criticism. But those words don't build, they destroy. So make it a habit to speak words that build. Compliment someone on their effort. Thank someone for their help. Share an idea that inspires. Speak words that leave people better than you found them. And don't forget to speak with kindness. You never know what someone else is going through. Your words might be the encouragement they need to keep going, or they might be the thing that pushes them over the edge. So choose kindness every single time. Now let's talk about the words you speak to yourself. Because if your words have power, then your self-talk is one of the most powerful forces in your life. Let me ask you, how do you talk to yourself? When you make a mistake, do you say, "I'm such an idiot"? Or do you say, "That's okay, I'll do better next time"? When you're facing a challenge, do you say, "This is too hard"? Or do you say, "I've got this"? Here's the thing, your mind believes what you tell it. If you tell yourself that you're not good enough, your mind will find reasons to agree. But if you tell yourself that you're capable, that you're learning, that you're growing, your mind will find reasons to agree with that too. So make it a discipline to speak positively to yourself. Be your own biggest cheerleader. Encourage yourself the way you would encourage a friend. And when you catch yourself speaking negatively, stop. Replace those words with something better. Because what you say to yourself shapes how you see yourself, and how you see yourself shapes how you live. And don't forget the ripple effect. Your words don't just stay with you, they spread. They influence your family, your friends, your colleagues. They create an atmosphere. So the question is, what kind of atmosphere are you creating? If you're constantly complaining, you create an atmosphere of negativity. But if you're speaking with hope, with gratitude, with encouragement, you create an atmosphere of possibility. And let me tell you, people are drawn to that. People want to be around someone who lifts them up. So be that person. Speak words that inspire, that motivate, that bring light into the room. Now, all of this comes down to discipline. Because let's face it, controlling your words isn't easy. It's easy to complain when things go wrong. It's easy to snap at someone when you're frustrated. It's easy to fall into old habits of negative self-talk. But here's the key. Easy doesn't lead to growth. Discipline does. So make it a daily practice to monitor your words. Catch yourself when you're about to complain and choose gratitude instead. Catch yourself when you're about to criticize and choose encouragement instead. Catch yourself when you're about to tear yourself down and choose to build yourself up instead. And here's the beauty of it. The more you practice, the easier it gets. Over time, speaking positively, speaking intentionally, speaking with kindness, it becomes second nature. And when that happens, you'll be amazed at how your life begins to change. So my friends, let me ask you, what kind of words are you speaking? Are they building or are they tearing down? Are they moving you forward? Or are they holding you back? Remember, words have power, tremendous power. Use them wisely. Use them intentionally. Use them to create the life you want and to inspire the people around you. Because when you master your words, you begin to master your life. Number 4, your habits. My friends, let's talk about habits. Because once you've started thinking right, once you've begun to take care of your health, and once you've mastered your words, the next thing to examine is your habits. Now, why are habits so important? Because they're the building blocks of your life. You see, success is not something you chase, it's something you attract by the person you become. And the person you become is shaped by what you do consistently day in and day out. Your habits, whether good or bad, are either working for you or against you. The question is, are your habits helping you build the life you want? Or are they silently sabotaging your success? Now, don't get discouraged. Habits can be changed. Bad habits can be replaced and good habits can be cultivated. But it takes discipline, it takes consistency, and most importantly, it takes awareness. So let's dive in and talk about how to create habits that work for you, not against you. Let me start with a principle that changed my life. Small disciplines repeated daily lead to big results. Now, this may not sound glamorous, it's not about overnight success or sudden breakthroughs, but let me tell you, it's powerful. Think about a farmer planting seeds. He doesn't see a harvest the next day, does he? No, he plants, he waters, he weeds, and he waits. Day after day, he tends to his fields, and eventually, with patience and persistence, the harvest comes. Your habits are like those seeds. Every small action you take, every time you choose to exercise, every time you choose to read instead of scrolling on your phone, every time you choose to save instead of spend, you're planting a seed. And over time, those seeds grow into a life of abundance, health, and success. So ask yourself, what seeds are you planting with your daily habits? Are you planting the seeds of success, or are you planting the seeds of regret? Because here's the truth. You can't escape the harvest. What you plant, you will reap. Now let's get practical. Every habit has 3 parts: the cue, the routine, and the reward. Let's say you have a habit of eating junk food late at night. The cue might be boredom, the routine is reaching for the chips, and the reward is that little burst of pleasure. Here's the key to breaking a bad habit. Don't fight the habit. Replace it. If the cue is boredom, find a new routine that gives you the same reward. Maybe you go for a walk, call a friend, or read a book. The reward? You feel relaxed, entertained, or energized. By replacing the routine, you start to rewire your brain. And here's the key to building a good habit. Make it easy. Want to start exercising? Lay out your workout clothes the night before. Want to read more? Keep a book on your nightstand. The easier you make it to do the right thing, the more likely you are to stick with it. Let me tell you something about discipline. It's hard in the beginning. When you're starting a new habit, it feels uncomfortable. It takes effort. But here's the beauty of it. If you stick with it long enough, discipline turns into lifestyle. Think about brushing your teeth. Nobody has to remind you to do it, right? It's automatic. That's what happens when a habit becomes part of who you are. The same thing can happen with exercising, saving money, eating healthy, or any other habit you want to cultivate. But it starts with discipline. And remember this, the pain of discipline weighs ounces, but the pain of regret weighs tons. So choose discipline today and save yourself the regret tomorrow. Now here's a habit in itself. Make it a habit to audit your habits. Every once in a while, take a step back and ask yourself, what am I doing every day that's moving me forward? And what am I doing that's holding me back? Maybe you've got a habit of hitting snooze 5 times in the morning. Is that helping you, or is it stealing your time? Maybe you've got a habit of scrolling through social media for hours. Is that adding value to your life, or is it robbing you of your focus? When you become aware of your habits, you can start to change them. And let me tell you, awareness is the first step to transformation. Let me leave you with this thought. Success leaves clues. If you want to know what habits you should cultivate, look at the people who have the life you want. What do they do every day? What are their morning routines? How do they spend their time? Study them. Learn from them. And then start adopting those habits yourself. Because here's the truth. If you do what successful people do consistently, you'll eventually get what successful people have. My friends, habits are the foundation of your life. They're the invisible architecture shaping your days, your weeks, your years. So make it a priority to build good habits, to replace the bad ones, and to be intentional about the choices you make every day. Because in the end, your habits will either make you or break you. And the good news? You get to choose. So choose wisely, start small, stay consistent, and watch as those small daily disciplines transform your life. Number 5, your attitude. Now let's talk about attitude. Attitude. The lens through which you see the world. It's how you respond to circumstances, how you handle challenges, and how you interact with people. Your attitude is more than just a fleeting mood. It's a habit of thought, a perspective that shapes your entire life. And here's the truth. Your attitude can be your greatest asset, or it can be your biggest liability. It can lift you to new heights, or it can drag you down into mediocrity. So if you want to improve your life, you've got to start by improving your attitude. My friends, a positive attitude doesn't mean ignoring reality. It doesn't mean pretending everything is perfect when it's not. No, a positive attitude is about choosing how you respond to life. It's about finding the silver lining, even in the toughest situations. Now, why is this so important? Because life will throw challenges your way, that's guaranteed. But how you handle those challenges, how you choose to respond, makes all the difference. 2 people can face the exact same situation. One crumbles under the pressure while the other rises to the occasion. What's the difference? Attitude. Let me give you an example. I once met a young man who had lost his job. Instead of complaining or feeling sorry for himself, he said, "This is my chance to start something new. This is my opportunity to grow." And let me tell you, that attitude served him well. Within a year, he had built a successful business because he chose to see the opportunity, not the obstacle. Here's another thing to remember. Your attitude doesn't just affect you. It affects everyone around you. Your family, your friends, your coworkers, they're all influenced by your energy, your outlook, your demeanor. Think about it. Have you ever walked into a room where someone was complaining, whining, and spreading negativity? How did it make you feel? Now, contrast that with walking into a room where someone was smiling, encouraging, and radiating positivity. There's a world of difference, isn't there? The truth is, your attitude is contagious. So the question is, what are you spreading? Are you lifting people up? Or are you dragging them down? Because every interaction you have is an opportunity to make a positive impact. And the more positivity you bring to others, the more you'll attract it into your own life. Now let's get practical. If you want to improve your attitude, you've got to guard your mindset. And that starts with what you're feeding your mind. Let me ask you, what are you reading? What are you watching? Who are you spending time with? Because all of these things are shaping your perspective, whether you realize it or not. If you're constantly consuming negativity, bad news, gossip, criticism, it's going to affect your attitude. But if you're filling your mind with positivity, uplifting books, inspiring ideas, encouraging people, you'll find it much easier to maintain a positive outlook. So make it a discipline to guard your mind. Be selective about what you allow in, because what you put in will determine what comes out. And here's a secret to maintaining a great attitude: gratitude. You see, it's hard to be negative when you're focused on what you're thankful for. Gratitude shifts your perspective. It reminds you of all the good in your life, even when things aren't going as planned. Start each day with gratitude. Take a moment to think about 3 things you're thankful for. Maybe it's your health, your family, your opportunities. Maybe it's something as simple as the sunrise or a warm cup of coffee. And don't stop there. Throughout the day, look for reasons to be grateful. When you're stuck in traffic, be thankful you have a car. When you're facing a challenge, be thankful for the chance to grow. Gratitude turns obstacles into opportunities, and it keeps your attitude in check. Now let me share a thought that's changed my life. It's not what happens to you that matters. It's how you respond. Life is full of ups and downs. We all face setbacks, disappointments, and challenges. But here's the difference between successful people and everyone else. Successful people don't let their circumstances define their attitude. If something goes wrong, they don't dwell on it. They learn from it. If they face a setback, they don't give up. They find another way. If they're dealt a bad hand, they don't complain. They play the hand they're dealt to the best of their ability. So the next time you're faced with a challenge, ask yourself, how can I respond to this in a way that serves me? What can I learn from this? How can I use this to grow? Because your response is what determines your future. And here's the most important thing to remember. Your attitude is a choice. Every day you have the power to choose how you see the world. You can choose to focus on the problems, or you can choose to focus on the possibilities. You can choose to complain, or you can choose to take action. You can choose to be bitter, or you can choose to be better. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it. Because the better your attitude, the better your life. So my friends, what kind of attitude are you bringing to the table? Are you bringing positivity, gratitude, and resilience? Or are you letting negativity, fear, and doubt hold you back? Remember, your attitude is one of the most powerful tools you have. It shapes your perspective, influences your actions, and determines your outcomes. So make it a priority to cultivate a great attitude. Feed it with positivity, guard it against negativity, and watch as it transforms your life. Number 6, your relationships. My friends, if you want to change your life, you've got to take a hard look at your relationships. Because, like it or not, the people you spend time with are shaping your future. Let me give you a principle that can transform your life. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Now, that's not just a nice idea, it's a powerful truth. If you're spending time with people who lift you up, encourage you, and challenge you to grow, you'll rise to their level. But if you're spending time with people who drag you down, who are negative or complacent, you'll find yourself stuck in the same place. Or worse, going backward. So let's talk about relationships. Let's talk about who you're letting into your inner circle and how those connections are shaping your journey. Here's something to think about. Your environment is stronger than your willpower. You might have all the best intentions in the world, but if you're surrounded by the wrong people, it's going to be an uphill battle. Imagine trying to improve your health while spending all your time with people who eat junk food and never exercise. Imagine trying to build a business while surrounded by people who tell you it can't be done. Imagine trying to stay positive while surrounded by constant negativity. It's tough, isn't it? That's why it's so important to choose your circle wisely. You need people who inspire you, people who challenge you, people who believe in you. And here's the key, it's not just about what they say, it's about how they live. You want to surround yourself with people whose lives reflect the kind of life you want to build. Now, that doesn't mean you cut everyone out of your life. It doesn't mean you stop loving or caring for people who aren't on the same path. But it does mean you have to be intentional about who you let influence you. Because influence is powerful. I like to think of relationships in 3 categories. Those that are neutral, those that pull you down, and those that lift you up. Let's start with the neutral relationships. These are people who don't really push you forward or hold you back. They're nice to have around, but they're not going to drive your growth. Then there are the relationships that pull you down. These are the people who drain your energy, who fill your mind with negativity, who discourage your dreams. You know the ones, they're always complaining, always making excuses, always seeing the glass as half empty. And finally, there are the relationships that lift you up. These are the people who challenge you to be your best, who encourage you when times are tough, who believe in your potential even when you don't. These are the relationships you want to nurture and invest in. Now let's talk about mentors. If you want to grow, you need to find people who've already walked the path you want to walk. You need mentors. People who can guide you, teach you, and share their wisdom. But here's the thing. Mentors don't have to be people you know personally. You can learn from authors, speakers, and leaders. You can learn from history's greatest thinkers. That's the beauty of books and lectures. They give you access to the best minds in the world. I can't tell you how many mentors I've had through books. People like Earl Schoaf, Napoleon Hill, and others. They taught me principles that shaped my life. So if you can't find a mentor in person, don't let that stop you. Seek out wisdom wherever you can find it. Now let me say this, relationships are not just about what you can get. They're about what you can give. If you want great relationships, you've got to invest in them. That means being present, listening, and showing appreciation. It means making time for the people who matter most. It means lifting others up, encouraging them, and believing in their potential. And here's a secret. The more you give to your relationships, the more you'll get in return. When you pour love, kindness, and encouragement into others, you create a ripple effect. You inspire them to do the same. And that creates an environment where everyone grows. While it's important to nurture relationships, it's equally important to set boundaries. Not everyone deserves access to your time, energy, or attention. If someone is consistently negative, disrespectful, or draining, you have to protect yourself. That doesn't mean you stop caring for them, but it does mean you limit their influence. Remember, your environment is shaping your future, so be intentional about who you let into your space. There's a law we call the law of association. It says, who you associate with will determine your success or your failure. If you associate with people who are ambitious, driven, and disciplined, that energy will rub off on you. You'll start to think bigger, work harder, and dream bolder. But if you associate with people who are lazy, negative, or complacent, their habits and attitudes will influence you as well. So ask yourself, who am I spending the most time with? Are they helping me grow, or are they holding me back? Because the truth is, your relationships are a reflection of where you're headed. My friends, your relationships are one of the most important factors in your success. They shape your mindset, influence your habits, and determine your trajectory. So take a good look at your circle. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, who challenge you, who believe in you. Seek out mentors, nurture your connections, and set boundaries where necessary. Because when you get your relationships right, everything else becomes easier. Your relationships can be a source of strength, encouragement, and wisdom. So make them a priority. Choose them wisely, and watch as they help you grow into the person you are meant to be. Number 7, your finances. Let's talk about your finances. Now, this is a topic that gets a lot of attention. But it's not just about money. It's about the way you think about money, how you handle money, and how you build wealth over time. I want you to understand something that changed my life when I first heard it. Money is not the root of all evil. No, my friends, it's the love of money, the obsession with money, the greed, and the desperation that can poison your life. But money itself, money is a tool, a means to an end. The key is to get good at managing money, to become wise in the ways of wealth creation, and to treat it with the respect it deserves. Because when you understand money, when you know how to handle it, it becomes one of your greatest allies. Now, let's get down to the basics. If you want to build wealth, you've got to start with the fundamentals. First and foremost, you've got to live below your means. It doesn't matter how much money you make. If you spend more than you earn, you'll always be in trouble. And here's the thing. Living below your means doesn't mean living miserably. It means being wise, being strategic, and making sure that you're saving and investing for the future. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You're saying, Jim, I don't make enough to save. Well, here's the truth. It's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. You can always find ways to cut back, to be more efficient with your spending, and to put away a portion of your income for the future. It's all about discipline, my friends. Start small, but start. Save 10% of what you earn. If you can't do that yet, start with 5%. But the key is to begin, because wealth doesn't come overnight. It's the result of consistent, small actions over time. Now let's talk about investing. If you want to get ahead, if you want to build true wealth, you've got to learn the power of investing. I'm not talking about gambling your money away in the stock market or chasing the latest get-rich-quick scheme. No, I'm talking about disciplined, thoughtful, long-term investing. You don't need to be a financial expert to understand this. You just need to start. Start with what you know. Start with the basics. Save, invest in low-cost index funds, buy real estate, or invest in your own skills and knowledge. The point is to get your money working for you instead of you working for it. And here's the magic. When your money starts working for you, you're no longer trading your time for money. You're building wealth without having to clock in every day. And this, my friends, is where the magic happens. Compound interest, the growth of investments over time. It's one of the most powerful forces in the world. But it only works if you give it time. So, start investing early and let the power of time do its work. Financial freedom is not about being rich. It's about being free. What do I mean by that? It means having control over your time. It means having the ability to make choices based on your values, not based on your paycheck. It means being able to give, to help others, to pursue your passions, and to live life on your terms. Let me tell you something. Wealth doesn't buy happiness, but it does buy freedom. It gives you the freedom to choose what you want to do with your life, to choose who you spend your time with, to choose how you live. And that's worth more than any amount of money in the world. But here's the key. Financial freedom doesn't come by accident. You've got to educate yourself. Too many people leave their financial future to chance. They rely on their job, on their government, or on others to take care of them. But the truth is, no one cares more about your financial future than you do. And that's why you've got to invest in your financial education. You don't have to go to school for years to learn how to manage money, but you do have to read, you do have to learn from the right people, and you do have to start making better decisions with your money. There's a saying that goes, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. The same applies to your financial education. The sooner you start, the better. But it's never too late to begin. Let me tell you something else. If you really want to take control of your finances, entrepreneurship is one of the best ways to do it. Now, I'm not saying that everyone should start a business, but what I am saying is that you need to think like an entrepreneur. You need to look for opportunities, solve problems, and create value. That's what entrepreneurs do. They identify needs, they come up with solutions, and they build businesses around those solutions. And here's the key. You don't have to be a business owner to think like an entrepreneur. You can apply this mindset in your career, in your investments, and in your personal life. Entrepreneurship is all about creating value, and that's something you can do at any stage of life. So what do the wealthy do that the rest of us don't? Well, the first thing they do is they develop good habits. They live below their means. They invest wisely. They continue to educate themselves. They understand that wealth is not something that happens overnight. It's the result of consistent, disciplined actions. Wealthy people are also patient. They don't chase after quick fixes, and they don't make impulsive decisions. They play the long game. And that's the mindset you need to adopt if you want to build real wealth. So, my friends, if you want to improve your finances, start with the basics. Live below your means. Save and invest. Educate yourself. Think like an entrepreneur. And be patient. Because financial freedom isn't something that happens overnight. But if you commit to the process, if you make wise decisions every day, you'll find yourself on a path to greater wealth and freedom than you ever thought possible. Number 8, your knowledge. Now, let's talk about one of the most valuable assets you can ever have, your knowledge. You see, the most successful people I know are lifelong learners. They understand that the more they learn, the more they earn. The more they earn, the more they know, the better their decisions. Knowledge, my friends, is the key that unlocks the doors to opportunity. If you want to change your life, if you want to build a future that's brighter than your past, you've got to be committed to learning. You've got to make knowledge a priority. But here's the thing, knowledge doesn't just fall into your lap. You have to work for it. You've got to seek it out, put in the time, and build your library. Let me tell you something about the most successful people. People who truly make a difference in this world. They are always learning, always. They understand that knowledge is like a muscle. If you don't use it, you lose it. Learning isn't something that happens by accident. It's a habit, a discipline, a commitment. And that's why it's so important to make learning a daily habit. I want you to think about your day for a moment. How much time do you spend learning? Do you spend an hour reading, listening to a podcast, or watching something that will help you grow? Or are you filling your mind with distractions, with information that doesn't serve you? Here's a simple rule. If you don't make time for learning, you'll be left behind. But if you consistently invest in your knowledge, you'll always be ahead of the game. One of the things that changed my life was when I made the decision to build a library. A library of ideas, of wisdom, of knowledge. You don't need a huge library to start. In fact, you don't need to spend a lot of money. What you need is a commitment to grow, to stretch your mind, to fill it with ideas that will challenge your thinking. And this library, my friends, doesn't just sit on a shelf collecting dust. No, it's an active resource that you tap into every day. Books, tapes, seminars, lectures. They are tools that help you grow. They give you access to the best minds, the best ideas, and the most effective strategies. You want to learn from the greats, from people who've already achieved what you want to achieve. And listen to me. Reading is the shortcut to success. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. The knowledge is out there. All you have to do is pick up a book, listen to an audiobook, or attend a seminar, and you'll gain access to someone else's experience. You'll gain the wisdom that took them years to acquire, and you'll acquire it in a fraction of the time. Now, I want to tell you about the most important book you'll ever read. It's not a book that I'm holding in my hand right now. It's the book that's inside your head. It's the story of your life, the story of your journey, your successes and your failures. You see, we're all writing a book every single day. Every decision you make, every thought you think, every action you take, it's part of the story. The question is, what kind of story are you writing? Is it a story of growth? A story of progress? A story of achievement? And here's the truth. The story you're writing today doesn't have to be the same story you'll be telling tomorrow. The good news is, you can rewrite your story at any time. You can start a new chapter. And the best way to do that is through knowledge. You rewrite your story by changing your mindset, changing your thinking, and changing your habits. The more you learn, the more you'll grow. And the more you grow, the more your story will change. My friends, one of the best investments you'll ever make is in yourself. And the way you do that is by investing in your mind. Now, this doesn't mean you have to go to college or get a degree, though that's a great option for some of you. It means committing to developing your mind every day. Start with the basics. Read a book. Pick up a book that challenges you, that makes you think, that helps you grow. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're busy. You've got a million things to do. But let me tell you something. Reading is one of the best ways to leverage your time. You can read while you're commuting, while you're exercising, while you're eating. The average person reads less than one book a year. But the successful people, they read dozens, if not hundreds, of books every year. Why? Because they know that the more they learn, the more they earn. Now, I'm not talking about reading for the sake of reading. I'm talking about reading for growth. Reading books that teach you something, that give you practical strategies you can use in your life that help you grow as a person. Read about finance, read about leadership, read about health, read about personal development. The more you feed your mind with positive, growth-oriented material, the better equipped you'll be to handle the challenges life throws your way. I want to challenge you to seek out the best. Don't settle for mediocrity. Find the people who've already walked the path you want to walk and learn from them. Read their books. Listen to their seminars. Follow their teachings. Find mentors, even if they don't know you. Learn from their experiences. I remember when I first started in this business, I didn't have a lot of money, and I didn't have a lot of connections. But what I did have was a passion to learn. So I started reading, I started listening to tapes. I started studying the greats, people like Earl Shoaff, Napoleon Hill, and others. And the more I learned from them, the more I was able to grow. And the more I grew, the more my business grew, and the more my life improved. So, my friends, don't be afraid to learn from the best. Don't be afraid to seek out the people who have already achieved what you want to achieve and learn from them. Their wisdom is invaluable, and it can save you years of trial and error. Let me tell you something about growth. It's a mindset. Successful people don't look at challenges as obstacles. They look at them as opportunities. They don't see failure as something to fear. They see it as something to learn from. They know that growth is a process, and they embrace that process. The key to growth is to have a mindset that says, I can always get better. I can always learn. I can always improve. This is what separates the successful from the unsuccessful. The willingness to keep learning, to keep growing, and to keep pushing forward. So when you encounter a challenge, don't run from it. Don't fear it. Embrace it. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Because every challenge you face is an opportunity for growth, and every piece of knowledge you acquire is a tool that helps you get to the next level. Here's the secret to success. It's not about doing something amazing once in a while. It's about doing it consistently. It's about making learning a daily habit. It's about feeding your mind every single day with new ideas, new knowledge, and new strategies. If you want to get ahead in life, you've got to commit to daily growth. Don't just read once in a while. Don't just listen to a podcast when you're feeling inspired. Do it every day. Make it a part of your routine. And the more you do it, the more you'll grow. And the more you grow, the more your opportunities will grow. The more your success will grow. So my friends, if you want to build a successful life, start by working on your library. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep stretching your mind. Commit to lifelong learning, and your future will be brighter than you ever imagined. Because knowledge is the foundation upon which all success is built. And when you make knowledge a priority, everything else falls into place. Number 9, your time management. Now we come to a very important point, your time. You know, I've heard people say over and over again, I don't have enough time, and I get it. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, but what sets successful people apart is how they use that time. Let me make something very clear. You cannot manage time. You can't stop it, slow it down, or speed it up. Time marches on, regardless of what you do. But here's the good news. While you can't manage time, you can manage yourself. You can manage how you spend your time. And that, my friends, is where the power lies. You see, time management isn't about finding more time. It's about making the most of the time you already have. It's about prioritizing, focusing, and working with intention. If you want to be successful, if you want to make your life extraordinary, you've got to start each day with purpose. Now let's get into the heart of this. Every day you have a choice. You can either drift through the day, letting time slip away, or you can start your day with purpose, with clarity, and with direction. Most people wake up and without thinking, they dive into their day, checking their phone, rushing to get ready, and reacting to whatever life throws at them. And here's the thing. If you don't take control of your day will take control of you. You'll be running on autopilot, reacting to everything that happens, and at the end of the day, you'll wonder where all your time went. But the successful people, they start their day with purpose. They set clear intentions for the day. They decide ahead of time how they're going to spend their time, and they stick to it. They don't let distractions or busy work take over. They know that time is their most valuable resource, and they treat it that way. Let me tell you something. Your morning routine sets the tone for your entire day. How you start your day determines how productive, focused, and successful you'll be. So ask yourself, what does your morning look like? I'm not talking about rushing through your morning with your mind scattered all over the place. I'm talking about starting your day with purpose. That means having a routine that helps you center yourself, get clear on your priorities, and prepare mentally for the day ahead. You see, a successful morning routine is about setting the stage. It's about giving yourself the time and space to plan, to reflect, and to set your intentions. Whether it's meditation, exercise, journaling, or simply sitting down and reviewing your goals for the day, make it a point to start your day with purpose. Once you've started your day with purpose, it's time to focus on your tasks. And here's where most people go wrong. They make a to-do list and everything goes on that list. Big things, small things, important things, and not so important things. And then they get lost in the clutter. But successful people, they know how to prioritize. They understand that not everything is equally important. The key to managing your time effectively is not just doing everything that comes your way, but doing the things that matter most. Here's a simple exercise. At the start of each day, look at your to-do list and ask yourself, What are the top 3 things I need to get done today that will move me closer to my goals? Focus on those tasks. Do the most important things first. Don't get distracted by the little stuff. Stay focused on your big goals and work your way through the list with intention. Let me ask you something. How much time do you spend on things that don't really matter? How much of your day is spent on activities that don't move you forward? Let me tell you, time wasters are everywhere. They come in the form of social media, mindless television, endless meetings, and idle chatter. Now, I'm not saying you should never relax or take a break. Absolutely not. But I am saying that if you want to succeed, you've got to be mindful of where your time goes. The average person spends hours a day on distractions, on things that don't bring them closer to their goals. And if you're not careful, those distractions will eat up your time and leave you with nothing to show for it. Here's the secret. Successful people are ruthless about eliminating time wasters. They recognize them and eliminate them from their lives. They guard their time like it's the precious resource that it is, and they don't allow anything to steal it away. Now let me share with you one of the most powerful time management principles I know. The 80/20 rule, also known as the Pareto principle. It's simple. 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts. In other words, a small amount of what you do leads to most of your success. This is a game changer when it comes to time management. It means that not everything on your to-do list is of equal importance. A few key tasks will generate the majority of your results. Start by identifying the 20% of your tasks that will give you the greatest return on investment. What are the tasks that are truly moving you forward? What are the activities that will have the biggest impact on your success? Focus on those. And let me tell you, once you identify the high-impact tasks and make them your priority, you'll be amazed at how much you can accomplish in less time. Time management becomes easier when you focus on what truly matters. Let me tell you, one of the biggest challenges in managing your time is staying focused. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. Social media, emails, texts, phone calls, and the list goes on. But here's the thing, focus is the key to time management. If you want to get more done in less time, you've got to learn to focus. Focus on one task at a time. Don't try to multitask. Multitasking is a myth. It's a sure way to waste time and lower the quality of your work. When you focus, you give your full attention to what you're doing. You eliminate distractions, and you work with intention. And let me tell you, when you work with focus, you get more done in less time. Your productivity skyrockets. Here's a strategy I recommend for managing your time. Time blocking. Time blocking is the practice of setting aside specific blocks of time for different tasks or activities. For example, you might block out 8:00 to 10:00 in the morning for deep work. No distractions, no meetings, just focused work. Then, from 10:00 to 11:00, you might have a meeting or a phone call, and so on. The key is to allocate specific times for specific tasks and stick to that schedule. By time blocking your day, you structure your time in a way that ensures you're focusing on the right things at the right time. You eliminate the temptation to procrastinate, and you give yourself the best chance to be productive. At the end of each day, take a moment to reflect. How did you use your time today? Did you stay focused on your most important tasks? Did you make progress toward your goals? Or did you let distractions take over? Remember, time is precious. Once it's gone, you can't get it back, so use it wisely. Manage your time, manage yourself, and start each day with purpose. So, my friends, time is the most valuable asset you have. You can't control it, but you can control how you use it. You can manage yourself, and that's where the power lies. Start your day with purpose. Prioritize your tasks. Eliminate time wasters. Focus on what matters most. And remember, the more intentional you are with your time, the more successful you'll become. Number 10, your contribution. Now, let me tell you something about life. It gets better when you give. When you make a conscious effort to contribute, to serve, to make a difference in the world around you, life starts to take on new meaning. See, so many people are caught up in the cycle of what can I get? And what's in it for me? But the truth is, life isn't just about taking. It's about giving. It's about finding a way to serve others, to contribute, to leave the world better than you found it. You want your life to be extraordinary. You want to feel fulfillment, joy, and satisfaction? Then stop focusing on what you can get and start focusing on what you can give. Whether it's time, knowledge, resources, or simply a listening ear. What you give to others is what enriches your life. You've got to find a way to serve. And here's the first thing you've got to understand. Giving is not about how much you give. It's about the heart behind it. It's not about having the biggest bank account, the most time, or the most resources. It's about the intention. You can give without having a lot to give. You can serve without having anything material to offer. It's not about what you give, it's about the mindset you carry when you give. Think about it. Have you ever helped someone and in the process felt better about yourself? Have you ever shared your time or knowledge with someone and walked away feeling more fulfilled than you did before? That's the power of giving. It's the reward that comes not from the thing you gave, but from the act of giving itself. There's a powerful law at work in this world. It's called the law of reciprocity. The more you give, the more you receive. Now, don't get me wrong. This isn't a give to get kind of philosophy. But here's what happens. When you give from a place of sincerity, when you give with the intent to serve and to help others, the universe has a way of returning that energy to you. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking, but Jim, what if I give and I don't get anything in return? Well, here's what I'll tell you. Sometimes the return isn't immediate. Sometimes it doesn't look the way you expect it to. But I promise you this, when you give selflessly, it will come back to you in ways you can't always predict. It may come back in the form of a connection, a new opportunity, or even an unexpected blessing. But you've got to give without expecting. You've got to give because it's in your heart to serve. Now let me tell you something else. When you help others, you help yourself. You've probably heard the phrase, what goes around comes around. Well, it's true. When you serve others, you create goodwill. You build a network of relationships based on trust, kindness, and generosity. And in turn, those people will be there for you when you need them. Every time you give, you create a ripple effect. Imagine throwing a stone into a pond. The stone creates ripples that spread far and wide. And when you give, whether it's a kind word, an act of service, or a helping hand, you create ripples in the lives of others. Those ripples spread out, impacting people you may never even meet. Now think about it. How many people's lives could you change if you made it a habit to give every day? What kind of positive ripple effect could you create if you made it a part of your life to help others, to serve others, to make a difference? Let me tell you, there's no limit to the impact you can have. You don't need to be a billionaire, a celebrity, or a world leader to make a difference. You just need to care. You just need to take the time to look around and see where you can help, where you can serve, where you can give. Because even the smallest acts of kindness can have a far-reaching impact. Start today. Don't wait until you feel like you have more. Don't wait until you feel like you have it all together. Just start with what you have. And as you do, I promise you this, your life will improve. You'll feel more fulfilled, more connected, more purposeful. Because life gets better when you give. Life gets better when you contribute, when you serve, when you make a difference. The greatest gift you can give to the world is yourself. The unique, one-of-a-kind contribution that only you can make. So give, serve, make a difference. And in the process, you'll find that life has a way of rewarding you in ways you never expected. Give and watch your life improve. Give and watch the world around you improve. Life gets better when you give. Now let me leave you with this. Don't let today slip by without taking action. You've got 10 areas to improve. 10 areas to focus on. 10 keys to unlock the life you're after. But the key to all of it, daily improvement. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to change everything at once. Just focus on getting a little better each day. Small improvements over time will make a monumental difference. Your health, your skills, your relationships, your finances, every area of your life can be improved, but it starts with you. It starts today. And it starts with the decision to improve, to grow, to take control. So make the commitment. Focus on these 10 things. And at the end of each day, ask yourself, did I improve today? Because life is not about a big leap, it's about small, consistent steps. And that's how you win. It's not about being perfect, it's about progress. Keep improving. Keep growing. And remember, the next step is always the most important one. You've got what it takes to succeed. Now make it happen.